Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors have vowed. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix their bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down.
My mama told me, yeah, she warned me that this day would come. I'm like my father, go to combat with the blazing guns. I survived that, then I came back to the place I'm from to face off all these haters and the battle in the place I love. You can't break me down, I'm indivisible. You still see my raps if I was invisible. But I'm standing tall, and I spit the truth. So you all appalled, cause you know it's true. They call it freedom cause the fallen troops pay for this. I love this country, doesn't matter how much hate I get. I take my colors in the battle, ain't no wavering. Cause this is for my warriors who marching to the cadences. This is for the sisters working hard on the ship. This is for the brothers getting y'all doctorate. Father, yeah, taking y'all on the ship. Baby, tell me why it's all for the patriot.
Yeah. It's gonna be legendary right here, man.
Let's get it.
Word. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. I'm just here to bring the facts. I'm not worried about your feelings. It's the way that y'all react. It goes way beyond the killings. Y'all can focus on the bad while I keep being the realest. Got me looking at the stats, trying to find out what the deal is. Take a look at DOJA murder rating, what they say, 852% on homicides, like we ain't taking vacay, data sad. I don't get it, then you blame it on your payment. No, it's not, you just ignorant, you the problem, just admit it. Tired of us going through this cycle. Blaming others means you in denial. Situations getting dire, this is vital. So it's time for us to crack open the Bible and get back to the truth.
Yeah, I know you ain't gonna like it. Yeah, I know you ain't gonna like it.
Some of you ain't got a clue.
Heaven knows that I'm fighting. Heaven knows that I'm fighting.
Get them back to the truth.
A black liberal ain't nothing but a house Negro. I said it. I just said it. Drop the bomb. Boom. A black liberal ain't nothing but a house Negro.
See that nonsense stretching, phantom in the comment sections. Off a limit, calling it progression. All you wanna do, follow deception, no direction. See the scope, it's TT and dope. Every argument will go past yours, and why they're feeding us like goats. See now, only gonna find the way truth into thy. Knowing about it, but taking two from the fight. Maybe you don't make it out doing right. They'll kill you and label it suicide. Whistleblower, to some you're just a voter. Never wanted you to be a pistol holder. Every candidate been a joker. Oh no, sir.
Tired of us going through this cycle. Blaming others means you in denial. Situations getting dire, this is vital. So it's time for us to crack open the Bible and get back to the truth.
Yeah, I know you ain't gonna like it. Yeah, I know you ain't gonna like it.
Some of you ain't got a clue.
Heaven knows that I'm fighting. Heaven knows that I'm fighting.
Get them back to the truth.
Y'all so pressed for master to swear up and down that Black Lives Matter and that y'all need master.
Jid Cargill is a monster. She's a monster.
Okay, why are you talking? We're starting.
Huh?
Why are you talking when we're starting?
Sorry, bro.
Careful, he might unmute. He might mute
Wrestling.
you.
Wrestling.
He might mute you.
Is my audio on?
Yeah, your audio's on. Welcome, all you credulous rubes, to Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire. I'm the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt. And I've got a perspective on things with me.
Listen, peasants,
Yeah.
come take heed. Your king is on his throne. Just kidding, I am the Iron King, the people's champ, the people's choice, the strong one the men envy and the women want to be with. Just kidding. I've been watching way too much old school pro wrestling. Love you guys. I've got a perspective on things. Give it up for Dusty.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. The kick-ass Duke, the producer, the one, the only, the Dusty is in the house. And guess what? I've got a couple perspectives on things, and we're going to share them with you tonight. Yeah, that's right. You're reading the title right. We have future predictions to make. Well, I don't. Matt doesn't, but Ray does.
Listen,
I might throw in a couple.
Come on.
I don't know about predictions.
Come on, strong one.
Listen,
What's
here's
those
what I'm
lottery
telling you.
numbers?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like, where'd Ray go, man? Where's he been for the last couple of days? He just disappeared. It's on his house. It's gone, man. What happened?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be that bad.
I thought you supported this show.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I thought you were
listen,
down
first
with
and
the show.
foremost, if I won the lottery, you would never know it. Like, I literally, like, I think I've learned a few lessons from a past life that I'm like, I am going to keep it so low key, people are not going to know. You know what I mean? You might notice I take more vacations, but that's about all that's going to see differently, man. So, and then you're going to hear from our church, hey, giving's up again. Weird. So that's all you're going to hear. Cool. So, guys,
And we'd find a sponsor, a random sponsor.
Just a random sponsor. It might be like Davis Marketing Concepts or something weird. I don't know. It might be, my old company. I don't know. Who knows? I might just get wild. Now, here's the dealio. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm just tired of being right. At this point, I've said it before on the show. It gets kind of nauseating to like. Here's the thing. Just straight up, I'm over COVID. I'm over it. I've been over it for a long time. Really, it's just most of my conversations now are I told you so, and I have receipts. I mean, if you pay attention to my Facebook or Instagram, my favorite, I don't know, I put videos up. I don't know if you saw it, Dusty, but in my story page, I put all of my old videos from like 2 years ago when this all started.
Yep.
Just, I mean, it's like
the stuff you'd be flagged for then is just kind of commonplace now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like if you're familiar with the Egg Bowl, it's when Mississippi State plays Mississippi. And long story short, like a Mississippi player catches a touchdown in Mississippi State. Mississippi State are the Bulldogs. He crawled over to the goalpost, lifted his leg, and peed on it like a dog pees on a hydrant. Like that's how I feel about the Corona Bros. That's how I feel about the COVID Karens. And all the scientists. And especially my favorite has been the follow the science people. You know what I mean? Follow the science. They've gone the way of Build Back Better. I still haven't seen a Build Back Better shirt, sticker, hat. I haven't seen any Build Back Better anything. But the Follow the Science crew, they left the building. And they were my harshest critics on social media about how I'm just a no good jabroni. I don't have a science degree. What's your degree? The appeal to authority. And what's magical is I've still got all those receipts. And I'm petty. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.
Petty?
I love
never.
Listen, I'm from Cincinnati. Well, I'm from Dayton, Ohio. So from Southwest Ohio, we're very petty. Okay, we're petty human beings. Okay, we're consummate underdogs. Houday, Super Bowl plug. But at the end of the day, like we know that we're not elite. We know that we're not high on society. So when we like stick it to you, it feels good, and we keep it. It's that thing I got to work on because Jesus is continually working on my heart. He's justified my heart, but he's still got to sanctify that pettiness. But it shows up. It just shows up. And
I'm sure it just
I
shows
keep
up.
asking. I just keep asking the follow the science people to respond, and they've gone away. It's weird, So I feel like I've sufficiently dunked on them, especially if you go back to the receipts of this show. If you go back in the archives 2 years ago, me and the mad scientists were talking about this a long, long time ago. And you know what's funny? We were right about everything. We were.
Yep.
Well, you can't be right about everything, but
What were we wrong on? Go.
Okay, you were right on everything. What am I talking about? I was there. I know. You were.
Yeah, that's sure.
I was buying stocks and getting ready because I knew you were going to be right.
Now listen, we said it. We said this is overblown hysteria. This is just a bad flu. This is literally being used politically. When we said that we're using this to go against Trump, it came true, right? We talked about that.
The numbers aren't correct. They're fudging the numbers.
They're fudging the numbers, and they were. Remember Orlando? Good old Orlando is the one that broke that one down. We even said in the CDC numbers that the numbers are not as bad as what they're saying on TV. We literally kept showing you that with the CDC. Then the people that are like, "Oh, this isn't politically motivated science." I mean, if it was politically motivated, why are these other countries doing it? And we saw what happened to Australia. We saw what's happening right now in Canada. We have seen the elite structure power use this pandemic, literal pandemic. Remember when they took that video off YouTube? Remember the pandemic video movie?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Where's her apology? She was right about everything. She talked about Fauci with gain of function. She talked about the overblown nature of COVID, and that they'd already had patents 2 years before COVID-19, and she was right about all of it. She was literally right about all of it, just like we were on this show. Where's the apology? So, again, I'm petty. I have receipts, and I have receipts on all of you, so it's okay. Please come at me. I'm still waiting for it. But y'all keep getting quiet. So I just put the videos up that literally have the time and date stamp of when I posted them, just so I can show once again that we were right. Now, it's not because we're so smart, okay? We're not smart people. I'm never going to pretend to be smart, okay? I'm not.
Thank goodness.
Okay? I'm not an intelligent human being. Okay? I've been a Bengals fan for a very long time, okay?
It's finally paying off.
It finally does. That's the pettiness of my life.
But it's all because it's an election year.
Yeah. They're trying to win Ohio. But here's the thing. It's like we said this is what's going to happen. What did we say 2 months ago? We said that they're going to back off this narrative because it's an election year. What started to happen, boys?
Yeah, I mean, we said, CNN. They have this woman named Wen. For 2 years now, she's been going on CNN and MSNBC saying the most atrocious things, the most un-American bullcrap. Not even bullcrap, horse crap, which I think somehow sounds stronger. What's that?
If you don't take the carrot, you get the whip. Remember?
Yeah. Just the most un-American horse crap. And now, I believe it was just yesterday, she's on there saying parents have the right to, as to whether or not their children get vaccinated, and, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the same woman,
literally a month apart.
They called parents in where was it? Virginia. Terrorists.
Yeah.
Domestic terrorists.
Well, that's over CRT.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But here's what I'm trying to say. We were right about
mandates.
We were right about this. Again,
Mm-hmm.
we told you masks didn't work. We were right. We told you the vaccine wasn't going to do anything. We were right. We said this is going to behave just like the flu. We were right. I mean, I don't know how many times we have to say it. So I'm over it. I'm done. I've dunked on you guys enough. We dunked on these people like 2 months after when the studies came out. You remember that we had the whole dunking episode? I was like, yeah, I'm up on a rim. We're dangling on them. You know what I mean? Like, we've dunked on you so many times. It took you this long to kind of own it. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing I will say about this. Yeah, Shaq, just two-hand dunk in your face. Now, here's what I'm going to say. For all the people who are now jumping on the bandwagon and pretending that you were with us the whole time, shut up. You're full of crap. You weren't. You were Captain Mask Mandate all day long. You had 4 masks on, so you just look like a jihad woman coming into most of the places that you went to, okay? Let's get real. Let's get real, okay? You went full jihad, Islamic, whatever, cover your whole body with masks. Stop. You got every vaccine. You got every booster. You still got COVID. You look stupid. It's okay. Just embrace it. It's how it goes. Sometimes we're wrong. I voted for Obama twice, okay? Now, I still think I was right, given the other options that I had, the other 2 globalists I had to go with. But listen, even I make mistakes. We all do, okay? We all do. We got to embrace them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I literally believed, I was thinking about this the other day. I saw Charity. I was like, until I was like 18, literally thought that babies were lumps of cells until like a couple months before. And then they come together, congeal, and become a baby, okay? I thought that, okay, until I saw science. And I was like, oh, dear Lord, eyes are formed within like 3 days.
So question
your
for you.
Starts going.
Did you think that your hair grows at the end of the root or up inside your head?
Bro, I don't even know. It's beyond me. I'm not smart enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
If you've been on TikTok, you've seen that TikTok, and dear Lord, that girl is some kind of special.
I'm banned from TikTok, remember? Because I said all those conspiracy theory things about COVID, remember?
All the stuff that came true.
Kicked off of TikTok.
All the stuff that came true.
All the stuff that came true is the reason I got kicked off of TikTok. We told you it came from China. We told you it came from a lab. We told you America was involved. It all came true.
Isn't that infuriating?
Yeah.
Isn't that just...
No, it's not. It's not, because I listen, I'm petty, so I love dunking on people.
Like, yeah, but it's infuriating that you're banned from a platform for...
Don't care.
Speaking the truth.
It's in God's hands. If listen, if I get banned for telling the truth on a platform, no means next. That's the beautiful thing about a free market. I go to Twitter or Clapper, and I've got more people watching me on Clapper now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Don't care. Moving on. What's magic now is Clapper doesn't ban you anymore for COVID talk anymore. Weird. But no.
Yeah, but they were doing the same thing. You just didn't get completely banned. You're still getting suspended. Sure. You're still getting stuff removed. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
Like, we don't live in a free market. And that's...
Well, listen.
But we're supposed
man,
to. This is supposed to be America. You know?
Yeah, but we're China now, man. You know, because we don't have a leader. Now, here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. I'm cool with it, and I'm enjoying dunking on people. But
yeah,
I'm tired of saying. Listen. I'm tired of saying I told you so. I think this show needs to get back to let's tell you what's about to happen, like we did before when we eventually were right again. Does that make sense? Now, I'll be the first to admit my only prediction that failed, and I still think I'm right. I just think that they didn't vote. They didn't count the votes right, but I thought California would go red this time. Okay, that they were going to pull over Virginia. Strong one was wrong because Joe Biden got 81 million legitimate.
I thought for sure Michigan was going to go blue.
You think they're going to go blue?
I'm sorry, go red.
Red.
I thought they were going to go red in the last election. I didn't think California would. I thought it would go purple, but I thought Michigan would go red in this election.
And Michigan is a red state. It's just, when you cart in ballots in the middle of the night and pull them out from, it changes things.
By the truckload.
So, now, anyways,
don't forget the truckload.
By the truckload. Okay. So, long story short, and what's funny is I can't wait for us, Matt, when we're old and they finally, like, on Dateline, they're like, yeah, we rigged the election, for us to come back and be like, that's what we said 25 years ago. we told you about that too.
We called it. They confirmed it. Congratulations.
Once we're in the United States of Florida and we've broken off from this stupidity. But anyways, my what early prediction? But no, I think that honestly, I'm tired of saying I told you so, and it's fun. Don't worry, I'm getting my jollies off of just saying I told you so. On Black Lives Matter, I mean, you guys saw that the other day. They're getting audited by the state of New York. They're like, hey, where'd all this money go?
Yeah.
I mean, You just bought a $6 million mansion in Toronto, Canada.
Of course, how much
Where'd it
of
go?
that is just how much of that is them wanting to get their cut?
But think about
it's
it.
entirely.
It
Yeah.
is, but when you have 90-some million dollars
Oh no.
that are
Yeah.
accounted for,
What happened? But let's be fair, let's be honest. New York isn't doing this out of some sense of justice needs to be served. Whoever's
No, they need
doing
their
this
money.
in New York is like, they bought mansions and there's still a lot of money left. I bet I can get me a piece of that.
not only
All I
that,
have
they
to
bought
do is audit
mansions-
them.
They bought a mansion in Canada. What does Black Lives Matter have to do with Canada?
Canada is
Well, I mean,
one of the whitest
Trudeau
countries
was
in the entire
kneeling.
world.
The BLM movement has moved out of America. It's in all Western countries because all Western countries are white countries as far as they're concerned, and
But think about this.
they're oppressing the rest of the world somehow.
But didn't we say this? Didn't we say this is a Marxist organization
Yes.
run by a bunch of lesbians that hate men and that literally have not spent a dime on the communities they pretend to care about?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, we said that.
So here's my question for you. This kind of leads into it. You've got
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, 90 some odd $1 million, and they're missing what, 40 million?
Hmm?
Just poof out of nowhere.
Yep.
So the trucker convoy in Canada raises $10 million on
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Thank you.
Go
And
fascist me.
Go fascist me, exactly.
and they're saying,
Don't use them.
no, you can't have this money.
We don't like what you.
We don't like what you're standing
might
for.
use
So
it for.
we're going
So-
to donate this money that's your money to charities we feel that are deserving of it.
Well,
They got
that was one avenue that they toyed with, and then they cut that off. So they're not going to do that. They're just issuing refunds to everybody if you sign up for it. You have to go by February 19th, I believe, to go request your money back.
And what happens if you don't? Where does that money go?
Then they might take it and spend it on whatever the hell they want.
we got to give Black Lives Matter another mansion in Canada, you know. So
Yeah,
but
right.
here's the deal.
Why do
we
people still
told
use
you.
go F me?
Listen, people like to get effed sometimes. Now, here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. Okay, we told you so. Okay, now we've told you so for the last 4 years we've been doing this, Matt. 4 years, like literally. I say on this show numerous times, one of my catchphrases is, "I'm tired of being right." Matt says, "No, I like it. I enjoy being
Yeah, I
right."
love
He
being
likes it. I like the pettiness. He likes being right. Okay, so it is what it is. It's how we flow, you know. And then we got Dusty in the house. Okay, it's fun. Okay, but we've got to okay. I'm tired of COVID. I'm tired of the CRT BS, Black Lives Matter bullcrap. I'm over it. I'm tired, and people are tired. And to the point where you got lefties that are tired of it. When you lose the left, it's kind of over. It's kind of done.
Virginia is a Democrat controlled their Congress just passed a mandatory or a blocking all mandates on masks.
Yep.
Democrat
Mask
control.
mandates.
Somebody's backpedaling.
Delaware, New Jersey, and Connecticut, all Democrat states, no mask mandates for kids anymore. None of this tomfoolery. Okay, so now here's the deal. That's why I wanted to do some Alex Jones stuff. Go ahead.
Let's all take a step back just for a second. All those states that you mentioned, I believe, surround Washington D.C., right?
Yes.
Yes, except for Connecticut.
Yeah, except for Connecticut, of course.
Delaware, yeah. I mean, Delaware, yeah, kind of.
So,
yeah.
But anyway, let's look at the states. They all surround Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Who really runs our government? It's when Republicans win the majority, when Republicans win, the presidency or anything, they don't run nothing.
Nope.
They don't
There's
do nothing.
there's a reason why all those states are blue surrounding Washington, D.C. Because Washington, D.C. is blue. They own the damn thing.
Yep.
The left owns their country, and they have for decades and decades. And we're just pretending that it's possible through the system to change anything.
So here's a question for you.
Good.
Just out of curiosity, Donald Trump, where is he from?
New York.
Okay. Where does he live?
Florida.
So would he be technically considered a Florida president?
Well, he's Floridian now. He didn't change his residency till halfway through his presidency. He was a New York guy until he moved.
He will be
he's
when he
ours
becomes
now.
the 47th.
Yeah. 47. But anyway, no, so here's what I'm getting at. Like, okay, cool. Like, listen, we get it. Government fails. It's gonna fail. We know this. The only person that's reigning right now is Jesus Christ. We get it, okay? But here's the thing. What's the practical reality that's coming our way, okay? Because, listen, I get it. We could all be like, we're going to be anarchists. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. You know why I tell you that? Because people love to be told what to do, okay? They love it too much. They do not want to give that up, okay? They don't want to give it up. The other thing that we think about, do we think the Republicans are going to save the Union? They're not going to. They're horrible. They're trash. I don't trust a single Republican. Like, any shred of hope that I had for poor little, what's his name, Ted Cruz, out the window. I don't believe in Ted Cruz anymore. I don't believe like any of the establishment guys. I just don't. I don't believe in them, okay? So what it comes down to is this, all right? It's not about big, it's about small. We've talked about that on the show. It works from the ground up. That's how change always happens. It's from the ground up, right? These school policies are changing. Did we lose Dusty? Is he gone already?
I'm back.
Did we lose Dusty? I just see his goofy face, but it's okay. I love you, Dusty. But
We lost your video, Dusty.
no video, Dusty. The people can't see you.
That's weird.
But guess what? Robbie can hear you. But what's it say? But like we've talked about this ad nauseum, right? So here's the thing. What's the actual solution? What's a real solution? And I'm not dissing you, Matt. I love you. You know, anarchy in the UK. I get it. Is it really going to happen though in America? Are people really going to do it? Nah, I don't know. We'll see. What's the real deal? What is the next? Here's the.
It's not happening
cheesy-
tomorrow.
Well, clearly, I'm just saying. So, what's the really dealy, feely deal? So, I'm going to keep it simple.
There
We're
we
going to do 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. That's what we're going to focus on the show today. We're going to keep it simple, and we're going to go around the room, and we're going to have some fun with it today for the show today. You feel me? We're going to have some fun with this today. So I'm going to start real small. Next 5 days, what do you see happening in, we'll just say Western society, okay? Because right now things have gotten really quiet in D.C. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Yins know that or not. It's gotten real quiet.
I wonder what could be going on.
Praise God, Trudeau is taking all the heat off of us because it was looking bad for us for a little bit. Hey, here's little Joe Rogan. Talk about Joe Rogan. Talk about truckers. Don't talk about DC. So that's the one thing I always think about. Whatever they're talking about in the media is not really what's going on, right? Fox News, MSNBC, either one of them, either extreme. Because literally Fox News cannot stop talking about Joe Rogan. I'm over it. That's a pagan problem. Let the pagans sort that one out. I don't care, okay?
That's nonsense. I think that's nonsense.
Listen, I that's fine. You can disagree with it. But here's the thing. I got Joe Rogan, who hates God, getting censored by people who hate God. So let them destroy themselves. That's fine. Someone else will raise up. Because here's the deal.
Yes,
Like,
but what happens to him happens to us too.
Yeah.
It's already happening. It's
I know.
already happening.
I know. So we just sit back and let it happen.
Now, listen,
We'll fight
that's
it.
what this show's for.
Let them
That's what this
burn.
show's for.
You know, and when they come for us, oh well, we'll have nobody to
Hey,
back us
listen,
up.
but But here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. Here's the reality of the situation, right? Now, that's what this show is going to be about. That's what we're going to put our plugs in, and we'll start with 5 days. I'll lead off with the show. Okay, you ready for it? 5-day prediction. Okay, they're going to continue the Rogan BS for another 5 days. They're going to keep talking about it ad nauseum on the Fox News network. Okay, when they're talking about something, they're really talking about the thing they really want you to look at while they're doing something else. Okay, there has been an obnoxious amount of not talking about what's happening in DC. Okay, which is going to lead into, I think, in the next 5 weeks, I see Joe Biden coming out and saying we beat COVID. I literally think it's going to be happening in the next 5 weeks. By the end of March, you're going to have Uncle Joe. They're going to wheel him out. Did you guys see the video of his wife helping him off the stage the other day?
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. I was like,
how is he still alive?
No wonder Russia and China have zero respect for us right now. But they respect, not gender pronouns. But anyways, so Biden's going to come out and he's going to be like, we did it. We beat COVID. We hit the acceptable numbers to science. We beat it. It's over. Because the reality is, in the next 5 months, what they're going to be doing is they're going to try as hard as they possibly can to get you to forget the madness of the last year, because it is an election year. And they know it's getting really, really, really bad. They know it on multiple fronts. You've got, again, we've talked about the truckers ad nauseum, but the bridge between Windsor and Detroit right now is completely blocked. You cannot go on I-75 and get into Canada right now. Completely blocked. Almost every port of entry into Canada is blocked, period. It hurts the Canucks more than it hurts us, but it does make me sad because Labatt Blue in Molson won't come down here as fast, okay? Because I like those beers. They're delicious, okay? Thank you, Canucks. We love your syrup. Now, here's the thing. Maybe syrup's down. I don't know. Bare shelves Biden. Who knows? But the next 5 months, you got to think about this. So you got March, April, May, June, July, August, okay? We're going to be ramping up for everything that's going to be happening in the November election. The reality of the situation is all the ships are burned on the Democratic side. They've got zero play. The only thing that they can do is try to Jedi mind trick you into forgetting what happened over the last 2 years. They're going to try their best to say, these are not the droids you're looking for. This is not the crime that you're seeing all over the world. This is not the gas prices that you see. This is not China breathing down our neck. This is not Russia showing a little bit of heat to Ukraine. This is not us sending 3,000 troops to the Ukrainian border, which just happened, by the way. This is not the southern border, which is completely open, and human trafficking is exploding on the southern border as we speak right now. Okay, this is not our police forces giving up on our on the places of power. They're going to try their best to get you to focus on every other thing other than what's actually happening. Rogan is the thing right now. It's like, oh, praise God, we found Rogan saying the N-word somewhere, right? And they were running.
Did you hear Glenn Beck this morning talking about that?
Oh no, what did he say? What did he say?
Well, the people who they found out who actually it might have even been Rolling Stone magazine or something, found out who released that video.
Okay.
Well, not even released. They compiled all these different instances of it into an out of context gotcha video, right?
Yep.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. It's a group called the Midas Touch or something like that. They do a podcast on Spotify.
Yep.
And they claim to be the #1 news podcast in the world, which is laughable.
That's laughable because we are.
Yeah.
True. I mean, we're expanding faster than the universe. I mean, I'm just being real.
But they looked into funding, so they receive money from, like a Patreon or whatever, crowdfunding. But they claim that none of that money goes into the business, that they give it all back to causes and whatnot.
I just had to do it, sorry.
I mean, arguing with that. I'm arguing with our response.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyways,
Sorry.
for those just listening, the Iron King posted Rogan is a pagan, lol. Anyway, so
Sorry, I couldn't
so-
resist. I couldn't resist.
but it turns out that they are funded. It's run by two brothers. There's this PAC that has no front facing to the public, right? And they hired one of the brothers as a consultant. But then some of the money that some if not all of the money that they're getting through crowdfunding, they also use to buy that PAC's services as a consultant to the show or something like that. There's some weird like money laundering scheme going on there.
Running a loophole.
Yeah, with this thing registered as a PAC that has no front facing to the public at all.
How can it be a PAC if it has no front facing?
Like it
You
just
have to
doesn't have a
have a PAC.
website. You can register as a PAC. It's just
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I see what you mean.
yeah.
I see
it's
what you
like-
mean.
They exist. They're an entity. You know, they found this through financial records, but they have no website. They're not like advertising their services. They're not. You know, there's just this money flow that's very strange. You know, and I mean, this is the same kind of crap we see all the time.
Yeah.
You know, these supposedly you know, and here's the other thing, they didn't release it as themselves. They released it through another group called Patriot Takes, which is not a right-wing group, though it sounds like it is.
No.
Yeah.
They
And
actually
then
bash on
once
people
it was
that call
revealed that
themselves
they were the ones
conservative.
who actually made it, they're like, yeah, you know, we did, we're great, you know, they're happy to take the credit for it, you know, as it
course.
boosts their, you know, credibility on the back of, you know, Joe Rogan.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just gross. I mean, it's the same grossness we see all the time. It's not surprising. It's just still sickening.
Here's what I would say about the Rogan thing. Okay, this is why I have such indifference to it. Okay, this is why I have indifference. 4 years ago, was Joe Rogan the biggest podcast on the planet?
Yeah.
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Okay. He's up there, right? Did he have 11 million viewers?
I don't think 11 million, but several million.
Do you think any of this would actually take away his viewership?
Probably not.
No, I don't think he's gonna. No.
No,
I mean, Rumble already offered him $100 million to come on their platform.
That's what I'm saying. The thing is,
And his
money
back
talks.
catalog that won't be banned.
Money talks, BS walks. At the end of the day, like I'll give you an example. Is Alex Jones still a relevant player in the media game?
I don't know.
Not really.
He's quoted every other day in
True.
DC press conferences.
True.
He is literally quoted. So the other day when the intel guy for the Russian-Ukraine thing comes up in front of everybody and says, "Hey, by the way, we know what the Russians are going to do. They're going to do a fake. They're going to do a deep fake video and show that Ukrainians crossed the border and attacked us in Russia, and that's going to be what we use to cross the border, and that's what they're going to use. And we just know this." I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys see this one or not?
No.
One reporter, literally one reporter said, "Yeah, so can we verify that?" Well, it is verified. How? How do we know it's verified? Well, because we said so. and the reporter's like, "Okay, cool, but that's like what Alex Jones does. He says it's verified because it's verified," which I thought was hilarious because Alex Jones actually verifies what he says, but that's another story. But he called him Alex Jones in a press conference, like literally like 4 days ago. And then on top of that, he's like, "You are also the person that told us that Crimea wouldn't fall," which it did. Afghanistan would go well. You told us that weapons of mass destruction. He's like, "I've been around here long enough. You've told us these lies over and over and over again," which was amazing because I was like, an actual media guy is asking questions. This is crazy.
Was this
You know what I mean?
Steve Ducey?
Not Steve Ducey. That's the thing. It wasn't Steve Ducey. It was some old guy who's been there for a long time. But he's like, even the left hates war. You know what I mean? So this isn't like This is what you do in a failing regime. You're like, oh, let's start a war. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But even the left hates war. We're actually allies on that side of the coin. But
well, we weren't always.
But my point is,
You know,
Alex Jones is living rent free in the minds of everybody in the mainstream media. You know why? He still has millions upon millions of viewers every single day, and they buy his snake oil to keep him going all the time.
Well,
And they buy shirts.
he
like
still
this
has
guy,
more
you know what I mean?
followers than
But-
CNN.
100%. Like, there are more people watching InfoWars than CNN on a regular basis. There are more people watching. Here's the thing. I understand the critique, like, oh man, this sucks about Rogan and blah, blah, blah. Cool story. Here's the problem. The reason they're mad is because Fox is pissed that there's someone outside of the box getting more views. And that will continue to happen over and over and over again. We've seen this in every single medium. What's the best-selling comic book right now in America? What's the best one? Y'all know?
probably it's an anime. It's a manga.
Demon Hunter in Japan
Yeah.
quadrupled all of the comic book sales
Yeah.
in America.
Kimetsu
Well,
no
that's not
Yaiba.
hard.
Mean Demon Slayer.
Sorry, Demon Slayer. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it as well, but quadrupled the numbers here. And that ain't DC or Marvel.
No, yeah, the mangas are killing it here.
Like,
And
the
have been for
mainstream is
years.
dead. That's what I'm saying, Matt. I understand the principled argument, but the reality argument is people will go other ways. If you smash, like, it's like here's the deal: you smash a piece of cake, everything flies out to the sides. It is what it is. They've broken the mainstream media to the point where people go other directions. We'll go other directions too. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, for sure.
They try to shut us down here.
Listen,
We'll go
I'm
other
not
places.
saying I agree with you on that respect. But we can't let that be an excuse to not be vigilant.
Yeah.
To not
Listen,
to do the work of
I'm not saying-
defending our principles. Right?
Sure. Listen, I agree.
And doing
I
research.
concur.
So we're
I concur.
so we're educated.
I'm just saying that anything that's controlled, they're ultimately going to try to destroy. Will it work? Let's get real. I don't think so. I think
I
that
hope
as
not.
much as you try to suppress speech, especially Americans, somebody's going to kick back. The best example of this is the COVID madness, right? I'm sorry I have to bring this up again. What's the one state that had the balls to say, screw you, we're not doing this?
Texas. Florida.
Well, not really. We did.
Yeah, Texas did.
Texas kind of did it
We
afterwards.
did it
'cause we're like,
first.
oh, Florida's doing it. We did it first. We were literally the joke. Like, I saw this comedian, like,
People are not happy with the governor of Texas that much.
no, Abbott's not a good dude. He's not a good dude.
Yeah.
He is just a guy who. That's why there's no one's talking about him as president.
He,
Everyone's talking about
he seemed
Sanders.
like a good dude when he first got in there.
No, bro. He's
But
just
then-
like every other Republican. He just goes
No,
like
no.
he's like, oh wait, most of my
Yeah,
state doesn't
he
like
said all the right things to get elected. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
what I'm
we've
getting at
been
is-
there before.
But my point is, Joe Rogan's the example. Joe Rogan literally goes on YouTube. They start, screwing him over. Okay, I'll go to Spotify. Okay, like, now I hate that he's been apologizing like a little, bitch, but that's another story for another time. But like, honest to God, like, man up. You have 11 million viewers. You're the most listened to podcast on the planet. Okay. You have the power. You can get away with whatever you want to. Like when Howard Stern was on top, he put blackface on and said the N-word a million times. If you haven't seen those videos, they're all over right now. It's unbelievable.
Well, yeah, and
He was on top.
he was making fun of
Whoopi.
Whoopi and her boyfriend at the time,
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. Thank you.
Who actually, Ted Danson did dress up in blackface. That's another story for another time, and Whoopi was all for it. But which is crazy because but Jews are white people now. So, anyways, but my point is this: you try to suppress free speech, it will never be stopped. And my example of this is this: every time that we see a step back, especially in Christ's kingdom, it's always a step forward, right? The moment that they tried to destroy the way, was called the way back then with Jesus in Jerusalem, guess what happened? It just got spread all over the world. When the religious authority and the Romans tried to smash Christianity, it just spread all over. You know what I
Within
mean?
100 years, Constantine was was the
It's
first
the same
Christian
thing.
emperor, you know?
Truth wins out. I get the principles, but the reality is truth will always win out.
True.
When you break down what Joe Rogan actually does, he's a MMA pot smoking pagan who just asks a bunch of questions. And the reality is everybody's asking those same questions too, because he is literally what's the closest person in viewing for him is Tucker Carlson. And he's only getting like 2.5 million. This guy's getting 11 million people. And as much as they're smearing him and trashing him and blah, 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 he's not losing viewership. He'll probably get more. Go ahead.
Crowder's got about 4.
Yeah. Crowder's not bad.
And then you have Ben Shapiro's at 1.5.
True. But I'm just saying comparatively to the mainstream places.
Yeah.
But that also goes to my point too. Blaze TV ain't mainstream, but guess what? Those boys are killing it. They're doing fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Crowders and all that fun stuff like that. Outkick the coverage. If you guys don't know what Outkick is, if you like any kind of sports, I would recommend it. It's the one that Clay Travis did. Now it's technically still owned by Fox now, but Outkick was independent for a long time. Fox bought it because it was making a bunch of money. Those dudes are killing ESPN. Well, I mean, let's get real. Fox had to buy it, but it's killing ESPN, and it's actually killing their own Fox product right now. More people listen to Outkick the coverage because they're like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to be I don't go to ESPN. Did you guys see the Veritas video about ESPN?
No.
It just came out today. It's a fresh one, but basically it's like they interview all these white people there, and they're like, yeah, they really hate white people here. They hate us, and it's just they just break down like all the racism. Like they're like, it's funny we talk about all this racism, but then they hate me because I'm white. It's like,
it's okay for them to hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they're
the
on the right side of the
CRT
aisle.
gospel.
But yeah, so my point is this. They're going to distract. They need as much heat in the next 5 days off of Biden to set up the next 5 weeks when he announces that he somehow conquered COVID, even though he never conquered COVID. Now, we'll take him to task with it. We'll bring up stuff. We'll bring up stats. We'll bring up the reality. But the normies, will eventually forget about it. They want to get as much heat off of COVID as possible to set up the next 5 months so that they can get you to forget. They want you to forget how good you had it 2 years ago under Trump. They want you to forget that Trump is looming out there in the ether. They're trying to get you to forget Afghanistan crime, all that fun stuff like that, to somehow salvage this election that's about to happen. My prediction is very simple. I really think there is going to be a red wave. I think it's going to be even worse than they think. I think that the Senate is going to have a very solid majority. I think the House is going to really flip big time. It's going to be kind of a massacre.
See, I'm thinking 17 to 18 seats in the House get flipped.
Yeah.
I'm thinking somewhere around 61% of the Senate gets flipped, which would allow the House and Senate to essentially shut down Biden. He'd be a lame duck.
I literally agree with you on that. I think I was thinking 60 in the Senate. I think 60% in the Senate will go Republican. I think all the Georgia gains are gone. I think that's gone. I think there's going to be a lot of things that just disappear magically. I think the House is going to get, I'm going to say 20 seats, man. I really
think that many seats?
Yeah. Wow. And I'm going to say why. Because what they're already complaining about on CNN is the redistricting of North Carolina. That's going to help. There's been a lot of redistricting. And they're saying it's gerrymandering. It's not. It's actually like, it's more advantageous it's better for Democrats the way they're cutting it, but it's not going to help them.
It's easier for them to cheat.
Yeah, it's harder for them to win. But
so if they can do this,
I hate these bitches complaining about gerrymandering as if they hadn't done it every chance that they got.
Right? Listen, man. Well, gerrymandering started with Democrats.
Yeah,
we forget about that. But anyway, that's my prediction. But I think in the next 5 years, what you're going to see is this. I really, it depends on Trump's health and what God allows. Okay.
Honestly, I don't want him to run.
I kind of don't either, because I don't want to. I
want him to be a spokesman. I want him to keep doing what he's doing. I want him to keep churning the waters, but I don't want him to run as president. I want somebody else to run as for president, because
DeSantis.
Yeah,
I don't want DeSantis
to
leave Florida, though.
I don't want him to leave Florida either, but he's going to run.
DeSantis has to leave. He only has one more term. You get 2 terms as governor, and then you got to bounce.
Yeah, I want him
right?
to do the second term, is what I'm saying.
But he is going to do the second term.
He's
Because he's got 2022. He'll have 2 years.
Oh, so is this election year for him?
Yeah, this is his election year.
Yeah.
Really?
The reason,
Yep.
No, I
listen,
didn't think
the
so.
reason why you don't hear anything about it is because there's no Democrat Party will not fund a competitor for him. The only race they're going for is Marco Rubio in Florida. That's
Yep.
it. With what's her face from Orlando? Black lady. What's her name?
Demings.
She sucks here in the town. What's her name?
Demings.
Not Demings. Is it Demings?
She's already in this house. Demings is already in the house.
I thought Demings was the mayor. I thought that Mayor
Yeah.
Demings was the mayor.
Yeah, there's her husband, and then the girl, Demings.
Oh, there's a chick Demings.
Yeah, Chick
Oh, gosh.
Demings
Anyway.
was the Orlando police chief who became the mayor,
Yes.
who became the House seat for Florida,
Yes.
and
The only-
she is awful. Val
Yes.
Demings is probably
That you're right. That's what I was looking for. Val Demings. You were right. It just came. Val Demings is trash because she's the one that was like hyper mask. She's a hyper mask girl.
yeah.
But they're the one. That's the only race in Florida they're funding. And they're trying to get Marco Rubio out of Miami. Basically, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of. They're just going for that Senate spot. The problem is this. Here's the problem. Val Demings is not appealing to any Hispanic voter in Florida at all.
Just
At
look at her
all.
arrest record.
Yeah, like at all. It ain't gonna work. But they literally are not funding the governor race. That's literally happening in a couple months. They're not doing it because they know that his approval is out of the yin yang, and his approval I think is really good nationally. But heads up, DeSantis
That's actually pretty poignant out of the yin yang because it's
Oh, yeah.
black and white. He's got both votes.
I mean, listen though. Now, here's the reality though. But here's the reality. National polls over Trump and DeSantis, Trump still wins. People want Trump again because they know what it's like. Now, to your point, Dusty, my mental head agrees with you. I want Trump to be a kingmaker. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want Trump to be a kingmaker and really reform the Republican Party.
I want
Okay?
him to rally people to
My
the
heart,
cause.
my heart is with you too, Dusty. Okay, but there's a third part of my body that dictates my actions, and it's the same thing with Donald Trump. He's got a pair of them, and I won't talk about it on this show. And that pair of them is incredibly petty,
You mean what was hard to swallow? So hard to swallow for the left?
very hard to swallow, very
Yeah.
hard. Like just solid, just
Chunky.
steel brass ones. Okay, head and heart, I'm with you, Dusty. I agree with you. It should be DeSantis that goes for it. Goes for the presidency. I think he'd crush it. If you want a sure victory, reality, Trump is a shoo-in to win because even with all the tomfoolery, it is really going to it's going to be very hard to replicate 81 million votes with a 32% approval rating.
And with that being said, the smart move for I think both Trump and DeSantis, and which is like long term, I think good for us, would be for DeSantis to be his VP.
Exactly, because then you go, hey, listen, you like this? I just make DeSantis for 8 years. So now you've got 4 years of Trump, 8 years of DeSantis. So you've got literally, until the Democrats get enough white people
until the right falls asleep, and the Democrats go back to doing what they do.
Exactly. But here's the thing. When you see Donald Trump saying the 45th and 47th president as he smashes a ball down the fairway, you know he's coming, and he's coming pissed.
Like, just look at the stark contrast of that and Joe Biden being walked off the stage by his wife.
Yeah.
Here's this dude who's already served 4 years, came out looking exactly the same as he went in, which no president ever does. And then, a year later, he's crushing balls on the golf course, talking about how he's going to be in there again. And, Joe Biden's like, what's that now? This guy's a
Yeah.
stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah, stupid son of-
I can barely
No.
walk on the stage.
You know why that is, though?
You
Trump actually
need
ran a company.
to.
Yeah,
Actually
I forgot
ran a
what I was
company.
gonna
Actually,
say.
yeah. He actually likes it.
he likes stress. He likes to attack. He's an alpha. He is a high alpha. Okay.
Mhm.
All the presidents, the globalists that we've had up to this point, haven't had real jobs. Even Reagan.
Yeah,
No
they're
offense, he was
all
an actor.
they're intellectuals.
They're like, oh, well, take it back. Bush
I'm
was
not
a
saying that
CIA
that's
guy.
I'm not saying that that's a I don't know a
I
complimentary
think
term.
intellectuals are great at advising, but I want a freaking general. I want a monster.
Mhm.
That's what I want leading the country. I want a pissed off New Yorker that can crush balls down the fairway and boldly proclaim he's going to be 47th. Like,
So-
that's what I want. No offense. But that's my 5-year prediction. Sorry, go ahead.
So with Trump going into office and this being his second term, he doesn't have to worry
Yes.
about re-election. He would be one scary president for
Especially if
everybody
a red
that
wave-
stands in his way.
Especially if Congress goes with him.
Yeah, I mean, you would have a loaded Congress. Now, here's the problem.
Well,
Here's the thing. Go ahead.
well, like in the past, we've seen plenty of Republican presidents with Republican Congresses that did exactly
Nothing.
squat with that.
Because they're globalists.
But
They
Trump's
weren't
not that
Republicans.
guy.
Nope.
Trump.
And
Just how
here's-
much did Trump get done when he had nothing going for him?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Like, because here's the thing. Let's get real.
Who
Trump-
wants to bet on constitutional carry for the country?
Who wants to
Reciprocity.
bet that wall gets finished?
Yeah,
Who wants to bet
Guarantee that wall gets finished.
yeah, for
This-
sure. But
How much
concealed
ammo?
carry can't say it. Reciprocity, where
yeah,
see, I'm not the only one. Okay, good.
reciprocity.
You can carry your gun wherever you want.
Pretty much.
Layman's. Give it to the layman's, man.
Yeah.
No, but think about it. You if you're Trump, and I don't want to make this the Trump show, but it's just a reality. All you have to do is, hey, look at my 4 years and look at his. Y'all remember me? Remember when I told you the border was out of control, and then you let this slap? Well, the system let this slappy get
So
in
there-
control.
So I've already
finishing the
seen
wall.
some of the arguments that they've got against Trump. Here's
Reciprocity.
one of
we go.
reciprocity. Thank you.
Reciprocity.
So
It was
here's
like-
one of
I
the
was
arguments
just-
that they
it was
have
escaping
against
me.
Trump is
Okay.
in his
Mean
last year
tweet.
of office, he lost so many jobs because of
To
COVID.
COVID hysteria.
Yeah, COVID hysteria. And so they're
happened
going to
before
use that as massive the most jobs lost in history.
Cool. And then all you had to say is COVID hysteria.
Yeah.
That's it.
I listened to
And,
some
by
bad.
the
I
way-
listened to some bad advice from
Yep.
people you hate now, like Fauci.
Yeah. So Fauci's
And-
gone. Because here's the deal. Fauci's going to be gone. He knows it. Fauci's going to be out. I mean, if I'm Fauci, I would run. The moment that
I'd
this
be
election's over,
heading to China as fast as possible.
I'd run because you're going to get fired. So you got Fauci's out. You've got nothing but support now, money wise, and from your Supreme Court that let you push through and finish this wall. That's going to be nice. You know, I don't know about gun rights. I wouldn't go that far for you, like Dusty, just because Trump's not great on guns.
No,
I
he
hate to
isn't.
admit that. He's not.
No.
But one thing he
It
is
just
good
would be
on-
nice to have.
Well, imagine the political reality of a completely like so you had the country basically say screw the Democrats. You got a red wave. You get Trump back in. How's Roe versus Wade at that point? If it's not beaten before Trump gets back in there, think about that.
I don't know that
You got
they'll
a
touch
lot
it.
of momentum, huh?
I don't know that they'll touch
I
it.
think what they're going to do is send it back to the states. They have to, because I think they made the decision on the Mississippi deal, right? They made a decision on it.
Mhm.
I don't know.
We're not going to
No.
find out till summertime.
Yeah, like they've already ruled on it. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I'm saying. Like I think the only thing the Democrats could do in the next 5 months is, let's say in the summer they announce, hey, Roe versus Wade, unconstitutional. So we're going to give the states the power to decide what's going on. That's going to be the only rallying cry they can say is, hey, women's rights. They're going to do the women's rights thing. The problem, though, is you're just going to make blue states bluer and red states redder. Well, guess what? That's not helping anybody.
No.
It's not going to help you. Because your battleground states like Michigan, do you think that they're going to keep Governor Whitmer in power?
Not
so?
if they actually fix the election.
Yeah, true.
If they actually run it right, run it fair, she's gone. And she's probably going to get charged with a whole lot of very nasty charges.
Wisconsin. Do you think Wisconsin, after all the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, all the madness, they're going to still go blue? Really? Do you think that Georgia is going to stay blue? Like, what's his face? What's his? It's going to drive me insane. Football player, former football player. Who's running for senator? He's got like a 3-point lead.
I know who you're talking about.
Play for Georgia. Play for the Dogs, the national champion Dogs. Herschel Walker. Yeah. Herschel Walker has a 3-point lead now. We're not even in real election season yet. It's got a 3-point lead already in the Senate race.
Georgia's an interesting one because Atlanta's
blue.
Atlanta's blue.
Valdosta ain't. Macon's not.
No.
Freaking, you go up I-75, they ain't. Savannah's probably blue. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Atlanta's the only blue part of the state.
But even, yeah. You still have Stacey Abrams making news somehow,
But they need a puppet that's out there. And she just clowned herself by taking a picture with elementary school kids with masks on.
I know.
Like, but again, they do this. They want her to be
weird.
destroyed.
It's so weird,
But it's not. It's
not.
No. You need it.
What I'm saying is, like, they keep doing these things. They keep normally they're so in lockstep, right? The left.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? Sure, they eat their own every now and then because somebody decides not to step in lockstep, But, like, on one hand, they're pulling back on everything COVID. On the other hand, they're railing against Joe Rogan for COVID misinformation. They're pulling back on everything COVID. Stacey Abrams still taking a picture with a bunch of math kids.
Yeah.
Ooh. I have the answer for this.
Dusty, do you have any thoughts?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, Ray, go ahead.
Hermione Granger, 3 points Gryffindor. Now, here's I'm a nerd. Okay. Who's railing against Joe Rogan?
Media.
The media.
More than anything.
Do you think the parents give a rat's egg about Joe Rogan? Now, listen, he has a big audience. 11 million people listen to him. Question. How many Americans are there?
350. Actually, 351, I think.
Well, 350 if you include all the illegals that are in here right now. But, right? 330 easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a small piece of the pie. How many people are actually watching Fox, NBC, ABC, CBS at this point? Who's watching them?
Less than 100,000, maybe 200,000.
CNN can't break 1 million on any of their shows right now.
No.
Fox's best shows, 2.5 million. Okay. The problem goes back to what we talked about before, Matt. Like, they're railing against Joe Rogan. Yes. Who? The legacy media that nobody gives a rat's blank about? Because Virginia is the iceberg of to the Democrat Titanic. Like, you have literally Democrats, they're showing themselves. They're showing their hand right now. Trudeau is supposed to be a man of the people. He's acting really, really elite right now up there in Canada. He's literally pissing on the working class. Joe Biden is pissing on the working class, increasing your gas prices, increasing everything that you're doing. You have lost all of your street cred, as the kids say. You lost your street cred. Okay? Like, more people are like, man, the Republicans actually, they know how to handle money, and they know how to, like, defend us, and they know how to, like, do all the right things. Oh, geez. There's only so many times you can put Stacey Abrams up there, who got her face kicked in. She got her face kicked in Georgia. And think that she's actually, you can only put them out so many times. You know what I mean? It loses its luster after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Are you guys getting static off my mic?
No.
I'm not. For once. Just kidding. I'm kidding, buddy. I love you.
Well,
I'm busting your top.
We figured out port 1 was the cause. So
yeah,
it hasn't been a problem for a while, but
here's my thing,
Chad
man.
is saying that they're picking it up somehow.
Okay.
Interesting.
But on what thing though? On what deal?
Well, it would be on Twitch there.
Twitch.tv/Plausible.
Yeah.
You know, they can check us out on Facebook Live and YouTube
Yeah.
as well. You know? Just saying.
String. And Rumble.
And Rumble.
To all the people watching on Rumble.
Let them rumble, baby.
We're streaming now.
But yeah.
In fact, I would prefer everybody watching on Rumble because screw these other guys.
Right?
The problem, we'll talk about it after the show. But I'm trying to find us on Rumble, and I can't find us on Rumble, so I'm struggling. But Twitch.tv/.
right now.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
How do you? What's the tag, man? Was it under Rumble? Young Man Rumble.
We're Plausible Foolishness.
Plausible Foolishness. You know, the same. Plausible Foolishness.
Yeah.
Boom. Got it.
And then you should see the current episode, The Iron King and the End Times.
Yep.
Oh, let's take a look, man. Man, maybe it's just my computer. My computer stinks, bro.
Probably.
Why does my computer stink so bad, man? What's the problem with my computer?
Because it's like 20 years old.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's about 8 years old. But listen, don't judge me, people. Okay? That's why you gotta, hit that subscribe because you really like us. But anyways, no, that's my prediction. I'm not saying anything as far as like, oh, it's gonna be this red wave and everything's gonna change and blah blah blah. I'm not. Republicans are gonna be Republicans. I think that there is an equal and opposite reaction to everything, right? The opposite reaction to Trump was, we will cheat to put this guy in power.
Yeah.
Okay. But there is an equal and opposite reaction to that happening. We saw this with Jimmy Carter. Okay. Reagan wasn't even a contender. Think about this, guys. Reagan wasn't even really that guy like that we think of him now. He wasn't. Because I think, didn't he run against Nixon in the Republican primaries? Didn't he go against Nixon?
No.
Or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, he didn't run against Nixon. Because Nixon was already gone by then.
Okay.
He ran against. Was it Ford?
He lost, though, right? Didn't he lose to somebody in the Republican primary? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
You're thinking the 1976 election. And he lost in that one to Nixon.
Okay.
But won against Ford in 80.
Okay, gotcha. So what I'm saying is, the reaction to Jimmy Carter was an actor from California. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The reaction to Obama's stupidity was, in the globalist system, was a big F you. We're going to put the reality TV star in power. Now he's more than that. He was a mogul, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. What do you think the reaction is going to be to the geriatric patient that is literally screwing our country up as we speak? What do you think is going to happen? Like, normies can only be normies for so long, okay? When your bacon price explodes, people get pissed. When your money doesn't go as far as it used to, your good-paying job that you got under the Trump days goes away, you start getting pissed off. If you're
when the value of the dollar has dropped 97% over the last 100 years, that's a big problem.
That's scary. If you're a young professional who's blue no matter who, and you can't even get a house, it might be time to get pissed off. and change something about it. Crazy how that works.
Here's the thing. I can't really be angry though. I can't buy a house because there's so many people coming to Florida because Florida is the freedom state, the state of liberty. And I can't be angry at them for that. Now, I will get angry if they continue to vote like they did in their previous states.
They won't. If they're running from New York, they're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, the vibe is Florida's a different animal, man. I'm telling you.
I hope so. I hope so.
Even with a rigged election, Florida got redder in 2020. We had people moving from New York already.
Well, I think it's because our election systems were
drastically improved under Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
And they've been improved even more.
Now imagine DeSantis at the federal level. And if he has the same eye on elections like he did here in Florida, imagine what happens there. So that gives me a little bit of hope. But that's my prediction. That's what now.
And shout out to Vinyl X9915. Thank you for joining for following. Welcome to the Rube Empire. You're now a citizen, and with all the rights and privileges.
Privileges.
You're welcome. But yeah, that's my prediction. So long story short, I can't wait to put this one in the can and be right, a year from now. You know what I mean? I can't wait to look back and be like, I hate to say I taught us so, but I taught us so, so that's what I'm ready to rock with it. You know what I mean? Boys, where did I get wrong? Where did the Iron King get wrong? Fire in the hole. Go.
We didn't talk. I don't think you got it wrong, but we didn't talk about the war in Ukraine that's bound to happen. And I think it's going to happen. It either happens very quickly, very soon, in the next it's either in the next 5 weeks.
I think it's going to be in the next 5 days.
Next 5 years.
I think it's going to be in the next 5 days, or the next week, or it's not going to happen. There's only so long you can hold that many troops on a border of a country and do nothing.
I think they're going to wait until after the Olympics is over.
Yeah, if they're going to move, it's going to be after the Olympics. But yes, keep going.
But I also think it'll happen I think they want it to happen post the election because people are not down with it. And I don't think that it matters who wins the Congress. I mean, we've seen for the last 20 wars that it doesn't matter who's in Congress because, the president now just gets to decide.
Yeah.
Well, according to several polls that are going on that came out today, actually, 47% of Republicans will not back a war with Russia, especially with Ukraine. So if the Republican Party does take the House and Senate, and they see the constituents not backing this, they're not going to push for a war.
It won't be a war. It'll be a
military action.
Military action, yeah. I mean, it's a war.
It'll be Bosnia. It'll be Bosnia. If it's anything, it'll be like Bosnia with Clinton. Now, what I would say is this: this is where I'm probably gonna be wrong, but I'm going to doubt you both, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, I'm gonna push back on this prediction. Okay, because I am the Iron King. Okay, I'm Iron. All right. Here's my pushback. I don't know if Russia even wants this war. I don't think they do at all. I literally don't think they want to get in a pissing match with Ukraine. I think that this is more bluster. Now, I could be wrong. They could invade because they did it in not Kiev. Where did they invade? Who'd they invade during Obama's term?
Ukraine.
Yeah, no, but what town? It was a town in Ukraine. Do you remember? Now, Obama didn't do anything about it.
I thought it was the capital.
Was it Kiev? They went to Kiev? Maybe.
Was
Okay,
it?
we'll figure that out. We'll have somebody fact check for that first later. Here's the thing. I don't think Putin's going to make a move if he knows Trump is looming in the backgrounds. Does that make sense? And now, the problem that the scary thing with Trump is, I don't think Trump is a war guy. I don't think he is at all. But I think where Trump is going to hurt them is Trump would make us energy independent again and crush them.
Well, they seized Crimea from Ukraine.
Crimea. Okay. Okay. So
That was it. Okay. Yeah.
Crimea. So are they going to do it before the Olympics or after the Olympics? That's probably very plausible. But I think Putin is not dumb. I don't see what Putin gets from invading Ukraine. I don't see where he wins on this one. I think that he kind of just shows a little bit of force. Because you got to think about it this way. If it goes politically bad for him, his number one, we're buying oil from him. So the moment that somebody with balls gets into the presidency, that gets cut off immediately. If he really pisses off Germany,
It's getting cut off anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If he goes to war, the Krauts aren't giving him money anymore for their oil. We're not giving money for oil anymore. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of things monetarily that they lose if they go into this situation. That's just my thought process. I think it's more saber rattling, but again, I could be wrong. They could invade whatever. The problem, the reason why I'm doubting that this is actually going to happen is the war trumpet is so loud for this. Does that make sense? Like Fox and like really hardcore globalist Republicans want this to happen bad. They want it bad.
It makes no sense why they would want that when, one, we should have absolutely zero interest in Ukraine. They're not an ally. They're not anything to us whatsoever. Yep. Do I want them to fall to Russia? Absolutely not. Do I care? No. But the only reason why there's so much push to have us back Ukraine is so that the money flowing through Ukraine for these political parties like Biden and his son, his Clintons, and so forth, so on, the Pelosi's and whatnot. That's the only reason why they want to keep Ukraine where it is and doing what they're doing, is so they can keep the money train going, and so they can keep that living large on the what's the word I want to say? End of a woman's breast.
Teat? Suckling the teat?
Teat.
Nip?
That
Gotcha.
is Ukraine.
Dusty, this is why you are my strongest Padawan and will surpass me one day. I think it's a great, glorious take. No, and I agree with you. I think that the only push for this is a DC push. This is a DC win.
Yeah.
DC reality. If Biden goes to war with Russia,
the banking families have, will benefit off of it.
Clearly. But if Biden pushes for a war against Russia, he will simultaneously, he's already losing the Democratic Party. He will completely lose the Democratic Party. Because as dumb as they are and as sheeple as they are, they're not about war. And Republicans, this is not your Bush's Republican Party. This is a very America first thinking reality Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
He will lose both sides immediately on this. And it will not be pretty. It will become a Vietnam situation. Like, why are we there? Sell us on this other than you're trying to take care of your son Hunter. Sell us on it. There's no sell for Ukraine. We do not benefit from Ukraine putting our boys in that situation.
No.
There's zero appetite for war from Americans right now.
Why do we have 3,000 troops over in Ukraine right now? We shouldn't have any troops over there.
Nope, not at all. And they
if we want to send humanitarian aid over there, food, blankets, medical equipment, fine. I'm all for it. Sending any more military equipment? Absolutely not. We already gave Afghanistan ISIS troops plenty of it. We don't need to be giving away anymore.
They can just go pick it up in Afghanistan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But here's my thing. Like, from a political standpoint, as dumb as the people are around Biden, they know it's a dumb move to go to war. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose America 100%. You want to talk about complete overhaul? Like screw you, it's not gonna happen. And I just don't see where even in the elite power structure, the elites benefit. No, they may. I don't know. The elites kind of benefit from the globalist idea that people are getting their oil from Russia, because we get our oil from Russia right now. Nobody talks about that. Yeah. Germany gets oil from Russia right now, but with Putin, he's smart enough to realize like that crazy SOB in Florida could get back in office, and he'll cut me off immediately if we do this, and he will.
But we're going to cut them off anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know if Biden does. That's the thing. I think
Biden's not going to do it. But as soon as Trump gets back in, we're going to go back to energy independence.
Yeah.
If he gets back in, I mean.
The moment a Republican gets back into office, I don't care who it is, Donald Trump, DeSantis, you go down the list, you name it, anybody. Several things are going to happen. All of those presidential mandates that he signed day one, gone,
yeah.
Absolutely gone.
Yeah, the Keystone Pipeline goes back into effect.
Yep.
All that
and
stuff.
It's going to get finished as soon as possible so that pipeline can continue to operate, and drilling will start commencing in areas that honestly no one lives in. There's almost no vegetation. It's going to happen.
But that's why I don't think Russia's going to go to war. It doesn't make any sense from a law standpoint, from a money standpoint, for Putin to pull this off. I just don't think it is. I think it's a saber rattle. You know what I mean?
It's in
my opinion.
My thing is this: you've got 100,000 troops and all that material sitting on the border of a country.
It's a pretty big saber rattle.
It's a pretty big saber rattle, and he's not doing anything with it. Well, I will say this: he did have several ships go over to the northern sea of Ireland, and the Irish chased them off in fishing boats. He had military ships, destroyers, and a couple of cruisers, and a bunch of fishing boats chased them off.
But do you know why that is?
There was a lot of media attention on it.
Well, media attention, and I hate to. Who's the idiot that's on Glenn Beck all the time? The old guy that got fired because he couldn't keep his hands to himself from chicks at Fox.
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly, what a douche. But anyways, he actually was right on this the other day, and I thought about it. So our economy sucks right now, correct? I mean, they're telling us it's great, but reality, how's our economy doing right now?
Not that well. It's not great, and there shows signs of things unraveling quickly.
The ruble's doing 4 times worse than us right now. If you're Putin and your inflation's out of control,
frankly, let's be honest, the whole world's economy is intertwined. So when we do bad, everybody does bad, and in many cases they do worse.
But that's my point.
Because we still sell oil everybody still sells oil using our dollar.
The petrodollar.
What happens when that changes?
Yeah, true. Now, and that could happen. Trust me, that's very real.
China's trying to do.
Yep, very real. Here's the issue, though. If you're Putin,
and so okay, let's think about this. There's a lot of talk of Russia and China being not so much enemies anymore.
Well, they're allies.
Yeah.
They're allies.
What if there's some kind of Russia-China play to this Ukraine thing that we just don't see?
I don't know.
Because it could be the smokescreen for Taiwan being invaded. I'm more on the Taiwan's going to get invaded more than Ukraine. Honestly, that's my thought process. I think that China isn't pissing off Biden, or not even Biden, but the handlers of Biden, because they still want that American money. Because the moment, that's the thing. This is the thin line. Once you really piss off Americans, you get cut off from that American money. Now, to the Russian thing, how do you pay for a war if you're 4 times worse in inflation than we are? How do you pay for it? I don't know how you do that. But if you saber rattle, you give off the appearance to your people and to the world that we're still strong and we're still, we'll get you. Because let's get real. We know why Russia got away with what they got away with under Obama, right? Nobody's going to vote out the black president. Nobody's going to be racist, right?
Yeah.
Remember when Obama was like, hey, when I get reelected, tell Putin we're all good.
We'll have more flexibility.
We'll have more flexibility. Y'all, I mean, we didn't forget about it. What assurance does Putin have that Biden's going to win again? He has none. None yet. In fact, he's got, oh crap, it might be Trump and it might be DeSantis for another 8 years. Yeah. I want to make as little noise as possible before I get cut off. Straight up.
What about this?
And if he's aligned with, go ahead.
What about this? What if it is saber rattling? Right?
Yeah. I just wanted to saber rattle with you.
Let's say it's saber rattling. Okay, here's my prediction for Ukraine.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Alex Jones.
It's saber rattling. Biden's a puppet, a globalist puppet, and Russia wants the Ukraine. I mean, we just know that they want it. They've wanted it for a long time.
Yeah.
Biden's a puppet. Russia wants Ukraine. Ukraine is a money laundering haven for the political elites in our country and probably countries around the world.
Yes.
Yep.
So they fear that going under Russia, or they have, well, they fear that going, becoming public, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The information that Ukraine has going public, if Russia takes it and uses it as blackmail.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of perhaps, maybe I don't want to make this a prediction, but perhaps this is all just a show. You know, they're gonna do their thing, we're gonna do our thing. You know, blah 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 blah. We raise the banners of war, but we don't actually go that far. But in the end, Russia gets what they want. And I don't know. I'm trying to play it out in my head. It doesn't. I'm trying to think of.
So what you're saying is Biden's getting Eiffel Towered right now from China and Russia at the same time. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, because
essentially. Sorry, I'm not going to explain that analogy. That was horrible, and I shouldn't say that. Forgive me, Jesus. But the reality is, Biden and whoever's running Biden, the pressure's on. Like, hey, if we go into Ukraine, we'll air all your dirty secrets, because that's what Russians do.
Yeah.
They will do it because they're okay with making the West look bad. It doesn't really affect Russia if he makes the West look bad.
And he doesn't really care who's in president, whether Biden, Trump, whoever. He doesn't care.
They'll still try to make. Listen, they won't piss him off too bad if it's Trump, but they're okay with making Biden mad because Biden doesn't know what's going on right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can make the West look stupid by saying, "Hey, we might invade, so you better do something. You better do something to make us not want to come in here." It's basically what you're saying is he's pulling strings on one level, like he's showing, like, "Hey, I can make you move. And if we do move, you're screwed." Is that what you're trying to say, Matt?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. I like that prediction. And that's plausible. That's plausible foolishness for reading. I believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, Biden is a puppet. And who is he a puppet to? In many ways, he's a puppet to China.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Right? If China is allied with Russia, They want Russia to get to Ukraine. They want that information because it just cements their puppetry, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so,
But here's the thing. But to your point, China is okay with expending Russian lives and Ukrainian lives because you got to think about this too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play with. I'm going to go with your prediction here too. If I'm China and I'm aligning with Russia, but reality is I have a bigger economy. I could kick Russia's face in if I wanted to. I'm going to make Russia go first. I'm going to let them be the pawns in this game.
mhm.
While you're doing it, I go after Taiwan. Because if America is not going to do anything about Ukraine, they're definitely not going to do anything about Taiwan. So we'll push you first to go use you to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like that. When you said it, I was like, okay, I can see that. I see
Yeah.
you, man. I'm picking up what you're laying down, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. But I think Putin's smart enough to not use his own people. You know what I mean? Like that. That's what I'm saying. Like
Is he,
Putin
though?
is such a Russian fanboy because obviously he's KGB from the beginning. I just think that he's gonna do everything he can not to use his guys in a situation he can lose. Like where Crimea, who's gonna oppose him in Crimea? Obama's not. European Union's not. You know what I mean? There's nobody to stop him from doing it. I think now the stakes are if I go in, I'm going to get cut off money-wise. I don't have the money to do this. It's going to cost me more to do this.
Think so?
I think so. I don't know, man. It's like a big game of Risk, right? It's like, you guys remember Risk, right? It's
Yeah.
like I play my hand. I better roll sixes on this, or I'm screwed. You know what I mean? It's if I'm going to win, I've got to win completely. And it's got to benefit the economy.
The way to
Think about
win
the
is
history of the
to,
Soviet
is to amass such a giant army and resources to back it to keep it going that you can't be
Yes.
stopped.
But think about history. Who were the first people that got screwed in the Soviet Union? It was Ukrainians. They're the first ones to die. They're the ones that had the massacre. Freaking,
It's called-
they didn't get potatoes. You know what I mean? Like Stalin killed their. You know what I mean? So I just don't think Ukrainians are going down that easy. I don't think so.
Oh, no,
They'll
they
turn
don't
over
want back at
themselves.
all. They don't want
No.
back at all.
No, and they'll fight for it. There's a reason why he stopped at Kiev. I mean, he didn't go for the whole country. So, just saying.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting. But hey, we get to look back on this episode and see whether we were right or wrong. And we're batting 99.9999%, which are your chances of surviving COVID. So I think we're doing pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
Matt, you look deep in thought, my friend. What do you got, bro?
I'm just the money laundering thing
Yeah.
seems to be something that, like, if I were Putin, I'd want that to be under me.
Yep.
You know?
Sure.
I wouldn't care. I mean, I wouldn't care so much about making the West look stupid. I'd want it to, like, fund my stuff. You know? We'll launder
Sure.
your money. You know, we're just under new management. Everything else is good. You know, the process is still the same. You know,
But how long does that last?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
That's a very
exactly.
short-term last. It's a short-term gain.
It's
Because you don't have a Democrat in place or a Republican. Like that's the thing is like Trump blew up the idea of a Republican globalist, shill. Okay, he kind of did. Now DeSantis scares me on some things. I'll be real with you. I don't think he's strong on abortion, but you think DeSantis is going to be like, yeah, let's play ball with Russia. You know what I mean? Hey, let's play ball with China.
God, no.
Think Trump's going to do that?
Definitely,
That's a
definitely not
problem.
China.
no.
China. Yeah,
Unless,
no, I'm
well,
with you.
unless the deal is good enough. You know,
If it benefits us.
true.
But
I mean,
here's
yeah,
the thing.
he doesn't. If he's shown anything, you know, he's definitely a self-promoter and all that stuff. But the deals he wants as president are the deals that are best for America. I really believe that's what he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, because there was a time in the past when he wanted to be one of these people. You know, he tried to get in with the elites in New York City,
Yep.
and they rejected him.
Yeah.
To their own foolishness, you know.
Nice.
They rejected him, and he's the kind of person who's like, all right, well, F you, I'm gonna be better than you. And so that cemented him into this path of America first. He's like, you want the world first, and I hate you, so America first. You know?
That's why he's never be a kingmaker, Dusty. He's too petty, and I like it. He's so petty, and I love it.
You think so?
Yes. He's too petty, man. He's got that dragon spirit, you know. Like,
And
what did Kanye call him?
the thing is, all you have to do is butter him up, and you're a great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah, and he'll promote the heck out of you. So, like, even him as kingmaker, like, I don't trust his judgment on who would be great king, you know?
No, exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, not to mention the fact that we don't want kings. And
everybody he butters
the
up
only kings
turns
are
on
the
him.
two kings, damn it.
They really do.
That's true. Listen, the only dude that he's buttered up that didn't turn on him was DeSantis.
Yeah.
And I think DeSantis is smart enough to be like, I don't want to battle the mud monster because I saw what he did to Marco. I saw what he did to Ted Cruz. I saw what he did to Bush. I saw what he did. It's like, I don't want to fight that mud monster.
And clearly he has a sense of what the people want, or else he wouldn't have made these moves that he's made low all these years, you know?
Yep.
See, I honestly didn't think he would do the moves that he did, but I'm glad he has.
Yeah. So
I wasn't expecting him to be.
I was listening to Steve Dace, and the thing about Trump is that he has his finger on the pulse of America.
Yeah.
And the people can influence him.
Yes.
Remember how earlier this year he was Mr. Vaccine? You know, he made the vaccines, so he promotes the vaccines. That's what Trump does. He makes something and he promotes it. Or he buys something or steals something and then he promotes it, you know?
Good sales guy.
Yeah. And so he was out there, but the people weren't having it. And then he just recently had a rally and he's like, the mandates are evil, they're un-American, blah, blah, blah. Not a single thing about, you know, we should all get vaccines and, you know, the jabs. And because he listens to us because he wants to be popular, you know?
The brother was
Pretty
on
much.
WWE, beat up Vince McMahon. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
That tells you exactly all that you need to know.
I mean, in many ways, that's a good thing,
Yes.
you know? Because
Yes.
he's against the extreme stuff of the left, like naturally, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Though he can fall into the moderate space, as we saw with bump stocks and stuff. He's like, he's not outlawing guns, but he's outlawing, okay, I can get down with outlawing these extra stuff that, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and
I mean, he's still very pro LGBTQ. He's very pro LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
But we can,
it's not great.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can have that discussion later. You know, but
that should be another show.
But we can influence him. You know?
Yeah.
We could get him to overturn the bump stock thing he did.
True.
You know?
That would be nice.
I think that's a good thing.
I do too.
In many ways.
Because that's what a politician's supposed to do. They're supposed to know what the pulse of the people is and actually do it, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're supposed to represent us, you know?
Speaking of the pulse of the people, what are our final thoughts, bro? What we got tonight, man? How are we going to wrap this thing up? How are we going to do it? Because my pulse is lower and I'm about to pass out.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
What you got, Dusty? Dusty.
I know we didn't get to cover this too much, but I want to put a question out there to you guys just to think about, kind of turn it over. When BLM was shutting down roads across the country, we chastised them greatly for doing that. stopping ambulances from coming through, stopping needed supplies, stopping Joe Blow to be able to go to work.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden we're backing the truckers in Ottawa. Now I'm not.
Sure.
I don't like the mandates that they're doing at all in Ottawa and whatnot, but calling a spade, they're doing the exact same thing we chastise the BLMs for doing.
I would disagree, and this is my pushback for it.
Okay.
BLM was based on a lie.
Yes. Agreed.
It's based on a lie. So at the end of the day, like, trust me, like there's a difference between. It's like this. It's like there's a difference between self-defense and murder.
Yeah.
There's Kyle Rittenhouse, and then there's murder, right?
Yeah.
Same thing in this case. I think BLM was based on a lie that there was a racist cop, and there's a bunch of racist cops out there killing black people, even though statistically that's not true whatsoever. That's been played out numerous times over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The difference here is there's an actual mandate in Canada that is literally saying that these guys have to do a 2-week quarantine every time they cross the border into the United States of America. That would literally kill their ability to make money, which is the point of it. The same thing was with the mandates that were here in America. Now, the beautiful thing is we essentially, the court essentially threw that crap out except for the medical workers and so on and so forth here. That's why I said, like on the show a couple days ago, do we really need that in America? I don't think so.
No.
But it is a nice fire. It's a shot over the bow to the elites that the most submissive, compliant, soft people on the planet, the Canucks, are actually standing up for something.
Yeah.
That I'm proud of. But it's not based on a lie. It's based on a reality. There is a mandate from a dictatorship from, Fidel Castro's son, good old Justin Trudeau, out there, trying to take away power. So I would say that's a difference. The other thing, too, that's different than this movement from BLM is 24 people didn't die over the summer and billions of dollars worth of property didn't get burned to the ground. So,
yes. Agreed.
My question.
Go ahead.
My question is, are they blocking emergency services? Are they like, we're being told that they are. I haven't seen proof that they, like, we saw lines of people in the street blocking traffic, ambulances stuck in the traffic and not being able to move on.
And people attacking the ambulances.
Mm-hmm. We saw the border shut down, at that one entrance. That's not the same as, I think it's just like when they claimed. I mean, I don't know for sure because, again, I'm thinking off the cuff. I'm not. I haven't done all the research here.
Yeah.
But I know that they claimed that the trucker convoy was vandalizing and peeing on the grave of the unknown soldier in Ottawa.
I highly doubt
that's
that.
Complete. Yeah, it's complete hogwash. That place isn't guarded. Give me a break. There's no video of it whatsoever. There's no video surveillance of that. Come on.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that as well.
They denigrate these movements because they fear them, because they're legit, and they exalt the illegitimate ones because it serves their purpose.
Yes.
Yes. Agreed.
Agreed. No, I'm with you, Dusty. I think that this is a difference between self-defense and murder. That's just the difference between this. I think that they're going to try to play that card for sure. I think that they're definitely going to play that card. However, I don't see 24 people dying, and the other thing that I don't see is I actually see an actual thing, that a tangible mandate that is directly affecting the lives of people. Now, we can make the argument. They can make the argument that cops are just killing black people disproportionately. The problem is there's no statistical analysis with that.
Yeah, there's no backing of that.
Saving black lives.
And I just want to follow the science. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to follow the science, like I'm being told. So, the science isn't leading us to that conclusion. I'm sorry.
Yep. But yeah,
It's just not there.
I'm with you though.
So I'm just calling to that something to think about with, and I see your points too. Just
No, I get it.
I
trying to be
don't
fair.
want to be the one that this is good because I agree with it. This is bad because I disagree with it. I want to be consistent in my protests and calling things what they are.
For sure. And that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. Agreed. Matt, what do you got, bro?
Well, I'm just going to go with a chat that just came up, and it says, "Sweet Mother of God, it is the perfect evolution of beard growth."
Amen. Dusty's got the starter. I got the intermediate. And Matt listen,
is the...
I would be kicking Matt's face in if not for my wife's birthday a couple weeks ago, because that's the only reason why I cut it. You know what I mean? I don't know today.
I look good. That's all there is to it.
Is that your final thought? You look good?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Final thought. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Super Bowl's coming, and it is time, man.
Bengals are gonna take it.
The theme of the day is pettiness. There's nothing more petty than small market, cheapo organization overcoming LA. The Midwest takes over LA. The stone that was cast aside is the one that redeems Israel, okay? And that is Joe Burrows, who was rejected by Ohio State, third stringer at Ohio State, goes to LSU, resurrects a program to win a national championship, wins the Heisman, and this guy within 3 years' time can win the Heisman, win a national championship, and win a Super Bowl. If I were him, I'd win the Super Bowl and walk off in the sunset. I just own football. There's nothing else for me to conquer. Okay? Alexander said, "I weep, for there are no more worlds to conquer." That's literally what I would do if I was Big Joe. But Skyline Chili beating In-N-Out Burger makes me happy.
I gotta say, Joe Burrows has the look.
He does, man.
He's just a good-looking dude.
Swag.
He's a good look, and yes, that was my next point. He's good looking, like Hollywood good looking.
Yep.
But on top of that, he has that swag. I mean, that picture of him at LSU wearing the LSU uniform, smoking the cigar, is just baller,
It's that Trump energy, man. It's that Make America Great energy.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I don't give a, it's like, I don't want to be polished. I don't care. I'm just going to be a swag. I'm just going to be who I am, man. And he comes from little old Athens, Ohio, that nobody's ever heard of, in the middle of basically West Virginia, Ohio. That's where he basically is from. And this boy just listen, Southeast Ohio. Listen, I'm not going to diss my Zanesville, Athens, Gallipolis cats, but it's West Virginia. Let's get real. Okay, you're the reason we get all the bad stories, and Cleveland sucks too, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean that's where he's from. This dude got rejected from Ohio State. Well, not rejected, but he's a third-string quarterback. LSU wins.
He got overlooked,
just like Cincinnati does. Mm-hmm. The city of Cincinnati gets overlooked all the time, but we're coming, you SOBs. We're coming to collect, and we're petty. Go Bengals. But anyway, that's my final thought.
On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minus.com. Peace out. God bless. Go Bengals.
Let's go, Brandon. Who dat?
Someday I would buy valleys with good origin, sails to distant shores, stand up high in the
Hundreds and thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors have vowed. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix their bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down.
Someday I would buy bodies with good oars, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the crowd, noble but feisty, steady push for the heathens, too many fool men.
Timmer. My mama told me, yeah, she warned me that this day would come. I'm like my father, go to combat with the blazing guns. I survived that, then I came back to the place I'm from to face off all these haters and the battle in the place I love. You can't break me down,